that listen to you, they have questions for us. And we're going to do about 10 questions and we have to end the show. So can we get some questions? Can we get no more in this thing there, because this is not an argument. People put questions up and I want the technicians and them.
People love
the technicians to run the question. This is the same person before. No, Mr. Alexander, this is my personal question to you. It is alleged that you are owing persons monies from previous years gone by. Is it the truth? And if so, can you treat with it or deal with it before aspiring to become Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister? My reason, the letters are so fine. I'm 64 years.
She's fed up of ministers entering politics for personal gain, as well as people having to always call our politicians crooks because of their past. And Mama Coco, if I wanted to do this for money, I'd have joined the PNM and the UNC. I was offered seats to contest for both parties, PNM and UNC. In fact, Daryl Smith ended up in a seat that Justin Phelps was supposed to get because the Keith Rowley didn't want Amy Brown, and he offered me to fight Diego Martin Central after the round table and the Section 34 march. The UNC offered me Diego Martin West. I went on my own and I ran as an independent. If I wanted to make money, I know the fastest way. I am releasing a letter to the Integrity Commission tomorrow going after GTEC and its former board and some of the things that has happened between Trinidad and Haiti that Trinidad don't know about. There is bacchanal and theft in this country from top down, and Janelle Alexander, if that was her name, she's damn right to ask that question. And girl, they will make all kind of allegations about me because that is how nasty our politics is. But you could tell them that I told you, A, I don't want to know the questions. You could ask me anything you want. And B,
that's why I told you.
You can open the phone lines.
You see, the on-the-spot answering right now is showing you up as who I don't want people in Tobago to see.
No, but listen,
so here we are. There's a question from someone wanting to know who is Mama Coco. I wanted you to answer. Bayram. Who is Mama Coco?
Somebody just alleged that I work in the PNM. Yesterday, Ubashi from the news media called me to say they hear I scream for the UNC. It is stupid, nasty politics. This is how the game is played.
Bayram, darling, this is not the life to ask me who I am. This is the life for you to ask questions that Mr. Alexander could answer and to save his party from going down. And for people like you who I know following him, not to sit there and just saying yes to everything. Is to stay there and to help guide him and help to protect his name and his integrity. Janelle James Alexander, he said, Mr. Alexander, next question is alleged that you are working with PNM Party. Well, he just answered that. Don't go back. Janelle says no. Next question. Moving on.
53 years old, January 17, 1967.
Moving on. Janelle is saying, yes, it may be the party, but for some reason, it's not.
I don't know what she means.
Reachable by all.
I'm not sure I understand what she means by that.
Janelle doesn't understand. Moving on. We have real questions.
Bring all.
We may not be able to do that. The engineers have to go out to work. Another question, please. Alicia Peniston is saying, she sure is. He keeps straying from the topic. Moving on.
You see where you have them thinking?
Is you not following in instruction? We were doing good. We were right there.
We will do more. See,
Cindy, you're trying to be on your best behavior.
I don't know how to do that. What is my mandate? To end corruption.
Janelle, I have another question for you. Read Janelle's question.
Mr. Alexander, I would like to vote for you, but you keep pussyfooting around. What is your mandate? Janelle, I tried to answer Mama Coco before. I said we want to break.
Never give it.
We want to break the backs of the contract mafia and look, you're real girl. I rate you. My whole WhatsApp full of people rating you. Anyway, Janelle, we want to break the back of corruption. You cannot fix Trinidad Tobago until you end corruption. When we end corruption, we need to reinvent. People, thank you very much, Margot. One for me.
I'm a girl, yes. She said?
I'm a girlfriend. Well, at least she come out batting for me. Look, I want to invite Janelle to go to peptt.com because there's no way for me to give her in the 30 seconds I have to answer these questions. Janelle, I want you to go to peptt.com. My number is 6822110. You could WhatsApp me and I will answer any question you want.
Because you want to vote for you. She just be on your live, you know.
Jess Kennedy say who
listen, read this one, brother.
Anisha Peniston say you only have mouth behind a screen. Meet him in person. In person, I am a teddy bear. Mr. Alexander, who's the caretaker for Tobago and where's the office located? Right now, Glenn Robinson is the caretaker for Tobago. We're not spending any money on any rents because of COVID-19. So right after, whenever we back open for business, we will launch that. He must be saying, what I come on this interview for? Not at all. I'm enjoying Mama Coco and I look forward to coming back.
You have to come back.
All Philip teeth drop out on this live. What I mean?
I don't know why you do that. I don't know why you behave that way.
Jillian Gomez said that is true.
What G. Anthony saying?
Say all you know is Duke. You want to lead the PEP? Come on. Hey, I want Mama Coco to join the Progressive Empowerment Party. They have a role and a place for her.
That's right. Let's go.
Why have you not visited Tobago? For many reasons. Mostly because I thought I would get stranded in Tobago. From the time this government come into office, they shut down the superfast glacier, and after that, it was bacchanal for about 2 years.
Excuse Paul.
Mama, the 2 times we sent the team across, we hired Kerry Grant with a private plane.
But the other people came. How come you couldn't come? Let's go. Moving on. Come on, read Jillian, brother. Read Jillian. 53-year-old man, read Jillian.
The people want to hear what you will do differently for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Jillian Goben, peptt.com. We do not have the time to answer that question in this thing. When you are going to battle, you must always be prepared. Indeed. I have a rose.
He told me he doesn't want anything.
I have a rose. Go hard on him.
I want all your people to know, you know.
Tell them.
We are 2 hours right now. 2 hours. You told me you don't want the questions. I told you, let me give you some so that you could research and come ready because I am going to ask.
Put on your whole armor. You are not ready, sir. Giles Marxed. I don't know what that means, but maybe.
She just be on your life too.
Maybe if she get to know me, that may be. Maybe if she got to know me, she'll realize I always have on my armor. Maybe that's the problem. Let me get my popcorn. Cindy.
Lizzie Ramirez, Wati Branca, what she said?
Whatever happened to Janice that was an integral part of PEP? Janice has a job that in one of these spin-off companies from Petrotrin, and she and her husband are concerned that political exposure now could cost her job. Plenty PEP members lost their jobs in work that they were doing, victimization, all how. So when they land a job, Janice is in a position where she cannot be politically exposed. Up to today, this morning, Janice and I talking. Then Philip, I think you need to come out of big people business, you know. Come on, Judith. That easy to do, to sit down behind. It's easy to
Don't
say
let don't let them
and just attack people. Giles, your next comment, you tell them who you think ready. Tell them who you think ready in a country that $3 trillion was stolen.
Moving on, we're gonna do 5 more questions and we're done.
None of these are questions though.
Oh really? They're commenting against you?
It's not that. It's just that you're not. It's easy to just sit down there and pelt stone. But I was hoping that your moderator would have been sending actual questions that we could have answered. Janelle James Alexander answered everything she asked except what you're going to do for the country. As a manifesto, that'll take an hour and 50 minutes to read. Now 15
Yeah,
seconds.
21 of.
Tell us you have to go to peptt.com. That was it. If you're in charge, how would you address folks in charge of divisions with missing monies? That is an interesting question. How would you address folks in charge of divisions with missing monies? Our intention is to put together a team with responsibility to audit from 1962, September 1st, 1962 to now. We want to open every file. It is our intention to track down every ongoing conspiracy of every type of white-collar criminality and corruption that has looted this country and go back for the money. That's our intention. What keeps Phillip Edward?
We don't have these questions are my question that I didn't get to ask.
What keeps Phillip Edward?
Because the engineers are saying that they don't have questions, they just have disappointment.
But I like that question. What keeps Phillip Edward Alexander up at night?
That's my question.
My dog George ate a bird, and that bird's husband or wife comes by my window and sings for whichever husband or wife but that George killed, and it's keep me up every night now.
Our next bird is coming.
Where have you worked the past 2 years, and where are you getting money? I'm a real estate developer. I am a communications advisor. We own Caribbean Online Yellow Pages. We founded Caribbean Online Yellow Pages before Facebook and Google came to Trinidad. We've been pioneers in the social media movement and have done the online management and marketing for some of the biggest companies in this country like Republic Bank and Angostura. And we still do that today. Anaya Kelly. Vote splitting. Stephanie Roberts says vote splitting. I don't know what that means. I'm thinking that she's saying that the PNM did us wrong and the UNC did us wrong. Let's keep going between the PNM and the UNC and battle with that wrong rather than try something new. I clearly believe he's just too passionate, but he seems to be honest. Thank you very much, Desron Phillip. And I wish I knew if that was a boy or a girl's name so I could say I love you.
That's my godson.
You owe Andrew Gabriel money.
That's my godson.
Pay him. I don't owe Andrew Gabriel a cent.
Read the other question.
Yes, all these little PNM trolls and fronts. His opposition material loves to oppose very controversial second place, Leander Craig Scott. Without asking an actual question, that's a silly thing to say, but that is what you'll get from people who want to defend the political status quo that has kept us trapped where we are. The other night, we had Vernon DeLima and Wayne Sturge on a show talking about people trapped in prison cells in this country because our justice system don't work, our water system don't work, our hospitals don't work, our education system loses 7,000 children a year to hopelessness and vagrancy. We do not grow our own food. We spend billions of dollars. Our farmers can't get land. Nothing works in Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing. Government after government have called the police service, the biggest gang in the country, did nothing to fix it. They parachute Gary Griffith into there and Trinidadians say, down with the popcorn. All this crap they're telling Gary. You were supposed to fix it overnight. You were supposed to get 6,000 police officers on this overnight. You were supposed to set up the police academy and polygraph testing and drug testing and weed out all of the corrupt officers in 15 minutes. And if you didn't, next. That's those people and those comments. They don't understand that they live in a cesspool of broken latrine. You, Mama Coco, if you were in Trinidad and Tobago tonight, you wouldn't feel safe, you wouldn't be able to bathe, and current might go and you can't watch your favorite TV show.
But I don't only watch TV show and news.
We live in a broken...
Okay, there's another question. What can people learn from the Phillip Edward Alexander brand?
I think it is too soon to ask that question. It's early days yet in my politics, but I think I have already.
You have a brand, you know.
I think I've already established myself as a game changer. We've drawn the conversation to us. All of these people who want to defend the status quo, we spend $100 million on a parliament every year for zero representation. Any one of those who are attacking me, tell them go to the MP office tomorrow and tell them they have a problem and see what happens. Charmaine Sideno called me this morning, the head of an advertising agency, for a lady who have 2 children living in a board house and just catch a fire. She working for the Chinese grocery and she don't know how to get help and she's suffering, she want to kill herself. I tell Charmaine, the first step is that woman has to go to social services. The second step, she has to go to her MP. And when the 2 of them let her down and they deny her, then come to me and we will solve the problem. The Jericho Project over the past 26 years have forced corporate Trinidad and Tobago to put disabled parking. I am the reason there are those blue parking spots in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right. You have to talk about your brand.
No government to date has addressed
you say you feed the hungry.
We created My Daily Soup. My son grew up feeding the homeless every Christmas. That's his Christmas day. All of my friends, Paul now, he is PNM and people in the UNC. We made dealing with the homeless fashionable. Calco and Sammy and them form a version of the Jericho Project called 141 Foundation, and for a little while was cutting poor people here. We've done this. We've got 3 subventions for the orphans, changed their lives. The Akiel Chambers Justice for Children March had a march every year until we put 25,000 people in the street and frightened the crap out of Glenn Ramadan Singh, sent him back in the parliament the next day and took up the languishing children's bill that was languishing for 12 years and passed it as law. That's why we have a children's authority today. We've stopped the rapid fire breeding of dangerous dogs in this country. There was a time pit bulls was killing poor people. A mother security guard on Mother's Day was attacked by 7 pit bulls owned by a police officer, and she was murdered by those dogs. She never get any kind of compensation. All of those people who sitting down there eating their popcorn, typing that nonsense, none of them know these things, remember any of these things.
That is what I bring you on the
anything for anybody, Mama Coco, and I, Phillip Edward Alexander. That woman who just type about Owen Andrew Gabriel.
Well, this is the kind of life that you like, and this is not the life that you should be keeping still. 3 years ago, you came out doing all this. Yes. You're supposed to be doing a different life now. I asked you those questions before. I asked you.
If in charge, how much money would you invest in developing Tobago?
Those are my questions.
You want an answer to that?
Yes.
But let me just answer the thing about the way I am, Mama Coco. I will never change.
Well, you can't do that.
I'm not going to script myself. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm going to be so brutally stinking honest. People will either vote for you or not.
No, we're not used. No, don't do that.
Look at what I have to put up with.
No, you don't.
Fake profiles.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Andrew Gabriel money.
Answer this question. Answer this question. These are my questions. These are the questions I build my life.
Okay.
I build the life on. These are the questions.
Empowerment Party would abolish, if given the mandate, if given the majority, would abolish local government, the regional health authorities, the police precinct model, and the THA, and replace them with something called a constituency board of supervisors. Tobago has 56,000 people and 2 constituencies. Those 2 constituencies should be given the autonomy to manage their business. All 41 constituencies in Trinidad and Tobago should be managing their own water, their own electricity, their own national security, their own education, their own maintenance. Our local government system failed. There is nothing but corruption and rottenness there. Our regional health authorities cannot answer for the $5 billion that we spend every year on public health, and people go to those hospitals to suffer. If you made each constituency responsible and gave them their share of the budget every year to operate themselves, central government will take care of the important issues, and they will take care of, and they would have the autonomy to take care of public works, public utilities, security, education, and public health.
So how much money would you earmark for Tobago?
Tobago gets 2 types of money under the Progressive Empowerment Party. Tobago gets constituency money, like every constituency.
For development, for development.
Management first. Tobago gets its constituency management money, like every constituency in the country would get, for all of the things that needs to be done. And then Tobago gets minor central government money, and Trinidad gets major central government money because of size. But Tobago's development has to be based on what Tobagonians want. We have a vision for Tobago, but I don't know if Massa Day Done still resonates in Tobago.
What you just used?
Massa Day Done, when Eric Williams said that to end our service industry, to make it shameful for people and in Mexico, they reach 6-star and 7-star hotels, you know, people with medical degree working as concierge in hotels in Mexico, pulling down $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in tips in the real world. But I don't know how damaged we are in Tobago, because Tobago is the best single tropical destination in the world. And every time I go to Tobago, I wonder why other countries like the Bahamas and even Mexico could have the type of tourist industry that they have, and they don't have a nylon pool, and they don't have the largest brain coral in the world. They certainly don't have the oldest old-growth forest on the planet that Tobago has. That laws that exist to govern Yellowstone Park was written because of Tobago's forest. But I don't know what Tobagonians want, and I don't think the conversation has ever been to Tobagonians. When they do something, they do it well, and they put their spirit into it. Tobagonians never come across to me as greedy people. They come across as hardworking, good and decent people. I tell people all the time, you'll meet Tobagonians that have 2 different side of slippers, but they own the land they're walking on. And that's how Trinidadians should think too. But we have a problem with the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Can't even set up a proper land registry in Tobago so people can get clear title to their land, so they can get financing, so they can build a guest house or their own home or their farm or whatever. Tobago had the highest, most valuable real estate on planet Earth for a while because of Coco. And they could again. Does Tobago want to be a mini Trinidad, or does Tobago want to be in agriculture and agro-processing and tourism?
You see how many.
Somebody said,
I
just named some.
Look how many. Look, you now wake up. You're now opening up. The questions were there coming, but you wouldn't answer them. Now you're ready to, and you're getting. Don't get riled up. People wouldn't listen.
Stephen Downer asked, why do you think the Scott drug report of 1987 has not been...
We can answer those questions right now.
Good.
We have to come and... Sorry, Scott Love. Sorry, Janelle. But at this time, I want to be speaking with Mr.
I want Janelle James Alexander to take my number, please. She has a lot of questions. Janelle, please acknowledge that you took my number, 682-2110.
Did I know your number? We listen to you all the time.
I know, but I wanted to, because she has a lot of questions, and I wanted to be able to reach out to me directly. Mama Coco.
Take a deep breath and let us come with
No, this is me normal. I feel normal.
No, this nah. You see what you're doing normal. Tell me how you think about the election coming. What chance you have?
All or nothing. It's up to
I ask you that.
It's up to that. Loop that is owned by Digicel that gets public taxpayer funds will write an article about all parties presenting candidates and when they presented candidates and call every 2x4 2-letter name one-man band and wouldn't call Progressive Empowerment Party. Wouldn't mention it.
What? How do you think the PEP is prepared for this election?
We are very prepared.
What seat are you running for?
Diego Martin Northeast.
Is that the seat with your friend?
Colm Imbert.
Okay.
I'm going up against Colm Imbert. I want to tell you, it is a toss-up and nobody's heard this publicly before, so you just got breaking news. It is either Diego Martin Northeast or San Fernando West. Garvin Nicholas may or may not work with us, and if he works with us, I will be giving him the opportunity to contest over Martin Northeast because he has machinery there. If he doesn't, I'm going to break column members who hold on that seat. If Garvin takes Diego Martin Northeast, I am going San Fernando West because somebody has to remove Faris from the politics and fling him on the dustbin of our politics. This is not about biceps and leotards. This is about representation of the people. Mbakade still have no representation, and those people desperate for it.
Mbaka, where were you talking?
Mbakade, down in San Fernando, down train line.
Okay.
San Fernando West.
So now we almost at 2 hours, and 2 of the engineers have to go out. See, somebody put a question there. Realize the mere fact Mama Coco interviewing Mr.
Ian D'Souza is a diehard supporter. And I want to tell Ian, Mama Coco, Cora Panton, is a beautiful soul. And from the first day I saw her present on one of my lives about 3 years ago, I felt honored. I felt blessed. I never knew I'd be getting this interview. I always thought when you call me Mama Coco, I want you to
told you I'm going to give you the
Admit this. When you called me, when you said to me, why you never reach out to me politically, I said, because I know Watson Duke is your nephew. And that
no, he's not.
Didn't I tell you that I assumed that you were going to support him?
No, I ain't supporting anybody.
But I'm saying to you that is why. But I love, and you could ask the members of the party that I keep boasting, that I have people like Atto Bolan and Cora Panton and Bernard de Lima. Y'all are touchstones. As long as I continue to see y'all there with me, messaging me and saying, veer left, veer right, watch this, look out, that keeps me going. I have school teachers from all during my life.
I know, I tell you, you
have
such an audience all over the world.
Mama, when you see your friends, I have Victoria Brown. I know Victoria Brown since I'm a teenager playing all fours. I know him as Mitz. And me and Mitz used to go and play all fours, drink beers and play all fours with people. He is a supporter. When you have people who know you your whole life and know how steep a mountain that is to climb and willing to stand with you and support you.
Yes.
I have a friend named Edmund Moy. Edmund Moy is a good and decent soul. I have known him for decades. Every single time the Jericho Project or the Progressive Empowerment Party doing something for the homeless or the poor or anything, Edmund Moy will show up with 2 cases of chicken and donate.
Yes. I remember this Follow Your Life, I just hear all who donate. Some nights you're telling how much they donate. But what I am saying here right now is like, let me ask you this question. How you did in the last local election there?
We didn't contest the last local election. We've decided to stand by our policy that we want to abolish local government. Plus, we didn't
want to abolish
and replace it with a constituency board of supervisors that is responsive. Right now, people don't understand who is their councillor and how this thing works. And some is elected and some is appointed, and you have to talk to this one. We wrote every single regional corporation in this country to ask them if Kiss Baking Company had a
license. I see that campaign that you're doing with Kiss and the bread. They just sell bread on the highway.
Right, but each and every regional corporation admitted that Kiss Baking Company was breaking the law, and each and every regional corporation admitted that they could do nothing about it. Now, why would I have, as my system of government, an opposition that can't take on the government? Why would I have a local government system that cannot address issues like people breaking the law on the side of the road? But if a poor man go and stand up next to Bermuda's bread seller to sell his bread, is lock up and jail for them.
I didn't know that was going on until I hear your life.
Nobody popcorn eaters, they don't know either. They don't have to know. Or they may know and don't care. A lot of them might be fake profiles of 1% people trying to defend.
This is the guy I invite to come on my show. Because the things that you talk about on your life, no one else speak about it. And there's certain language. I'm telling you the truth, because I ain't here to bring you down and bring you on my show. I'm here to lift you up because I bring you on my show. I'm here to tell people that the person that they just comment and write about, that's not the guy. I want them to know that this guy makes his own money. I want them to know that this guy is a human. Accept my sympathy for the loss of your sister. That day when you were speaking about she just went in for this and then when you get the news, she's dead. You know, that broke me down. And there's a human side to you. But you can't go on these talk shows when you know the people just bringing you there to antagonize you.
Yeah, but you see...
And I want you to go back and watch this show. When this show is done, watch this show.
I do.
And see if you could... Yes, see if you could... No, don't already comment. Yes, see the comments. But I mean, watch the interview.
Mama,
and see where the slippery is. And see where you're not answering the question.
Somebody said tonight, pawn your whole armor. That person don't know how close to the thing they touch. I am practicing real politics in a country that killed Selwyn Richardson, Jean Miles, and Dana Sitaha. Phillip Edward Alexander pulls into the public space in ways nobody ever could.
So Gary, you know who did that?
Just now. That's not my job. My job is my job. And I pull them into the public space. I have them quaking because they lighted plenty candle in church, temple, and mosque, hoping Phillip Edward Alexander never see government. Because I am telling you that the $3 trillion that was stolen is criminals that's still living in this country, living large, splashing people in the Porsche Cayenne. I know for an absolute fact.
Philip, I wish we didn't have to stop this live. But you waste 90 minutes.
Not at all. We have plenty time to talk.
I know we have time to talk, but as I tell you before, we were pressing for time with a certain amount of questions because what I bring you on the show for, you deviated. You did not stick to the points.
I apologize.
You know,
but I tell
you're a good guy.
Mama, I'm not saying...
Listen. Look at the quality politics that you bring into the people every night. Look the kind of news they just go out on highways, byways, canals that ain't doing good, people water wasting. Look who is your friend, Mr. Aboud Gary. These are people that you know. You are the guy I wanted was to bring on Facebook tonight. But that guy stay away until now. Till all my questions to you are those in the green. Those are my questions for you. Look at how many questions I have for you. Look how many questions.
I wish your engineers didn't have to go.
I wish that too. You can't be so encouraged to go and face people and get too hyper. Else you have to get up and leave them because they're bringing out a part of you that is not making you look.
But Mama,
listen, it's not making you look.
See, I want to say,
tell me.
I want Trinidadians to know me as I am.
Yes, but
tell me. You know, people just meet me and tell me, Philip, I'm praying for you every night. I say, thank you. Patrick Jagasa, ex-magic.
I tell you the other day, I'm praying for you because of what I see going on around you.
Mama.
You out there messing with your life, you know.
Mama.
You mingling with death every day. And you can't be out there fighting. Listen to me. Every time you come to talk about the Prime Minister, you have to get so high up and always have to call him name and till you're going now often, calling him jackass. You're cussing out, come like this. You have already won. You talk about that for 3 years. Why are you continuing so? You don't have to do that. You can cease and desist.
Trinidadians need to know the truth.
That is not the truth.
That is the truth.
Because you see, the first thing we have to do as a people, we have to be true to ourselves.
Mama,
and anytime you have to be proven to people.
This is me.
All the time.
No. No. This is not me proven. This is me.
No. Sometimes you're working too hard. You already win the point. Start to talk of how you will fix it. Stop talking about the damages. Stop talking about, listen, you're keeping it alive, but you're on the life talking for a whole life. This, that, rash dash, bash dash. What I am saying, if Kamala Bissessa is guilty of everything that we say that she's guilty of, we need to try people. If PNM guilty, PNM, they have to face trial.
Who will bring them to justice, Mama?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That is the politics we need. We can't be spinning top in mud.
I deal with people who think that their vote is
Philip.
on the texture of their hair. I need shake, Mama.
You're keeping a lot of meetings every night with too much redundance. You can't be doing it every time. You have to move forward for progress.
I love
you. Start to go to Laventille.
I love.
You have to start to
only make it illegal except for PNM. PNM could go 50,000 people could go on a stage down in South last night by UV campus and it's legal. If I call a meeting, it's illegal. I live in a country that is a dictatorship. I have you see, you tell me I can't call them names, but it is my calling them names that pull them low. People understand now. Those are people holding office. Respect the office. But if you put a donkey in a horse race, you expect first class racing. Mama, I do.
Do you think that the majority of people that will vote for you,
that is dead?
We need a part two.
You have.
What do you say about a part two?
I hear for you. I wanted to tell you just now, the things that you say, I believe, I live it. I live this. This is sacrifice. I don't need this. This don't pay me. This costs me money. They have no win. The other night, who it was that was on the plane talk? Patrick Watson.
Who you have in your team? I know I could have asked for Mr. Anthony. Who again could come?
If you bring Anthony on this show tomorrow, he could answer the first 3 questions, and after that, you'll realize why he was my wingman, but he couldn't fly the plane. He's a good guy, sweet and gentle soul.
But what you have to do, you have to teach him how to fly the plane in case.
Mama, that is what I was doing.
You can't fly it.
I was doing, and then he ended up. But you know, man.
Don't argue.
In the scratchy and itchy.
Tell me who again.
I want to.
Do you have a woman?
Chairman of this party is the most powerful woman in politics in this country. Felicia.
Well, she might want to come because she might think I'm too harsh on you.
No. This party people. The night we launched the Progressive Empowerment Party, Felicia Ola came as a guest, as a member.
I want you to tell me the truth. Was I hard on you?
You?
You tell me to be hard, and I wasn't even hard. Because all my questions and them still ain't answered.
Do I look, Mama Coco, I enjoyed every second. I tell you, I wish your engineers didn't have to go. Some people will love the show, some people will hate the show. That's Trinidadians. They come to a conversation with their minds already made up. Mama,
they can't handle us.
Let me finish this sentence. They come to a political conversation. Lucky he's a 1%. Lucky he white. Lucky he too black. I was in St. Mary's College. I was too white to be Indian, too black to be brown, too straight to be Tata hair. I fit in nowhere. I have had a Forrest Gump life. I have had to understand everything. That's God had me on this journey for my whole life. I have known loss. I have known gain.
We're going to wrap up here now. So sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching Live with Mama Coco and with our distinguished friend, Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander. I invited him to come sit with me so I can show Trinidad and Tobago, especially Tobago, who Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander is. I know we have started out slow and a little late, and as he said that I was working on his brain. I didn't know you would have chicken out on me. I didn't know that. I seen you strong and moving on your lives, but I didn't know that when you come to sit with Mama Coco, you would have been so
I want to
inclusive.
give you a message. Vernon de Lima sent to say he loves you.
Yes, thank you, but I love him too.
Sent to say he loves you and he loved the show.
Can anyone like him come on and sit with me so they could
Sure.
sell PEP? You need somebody to sell PEP. You can't sell
No,
PEP.
not at all. Mama, you keep saying that Trinidadians have been lied to for 58 years. I am giving them me, and I
you just get you're
Mama, I'm
exposing,
telling you this.
you're
I'm
exposing
telling
your
them,
skin too.
and all the
You're
popcorn
exposing your
eaters.
skin. Maybe you could come with somebody else too, you know.
Mama, I have 1,000 hours of video. All the popcorn eaters could continue eating
Can we stop
popcorn.
use popcorn eaters?
Mama, after I lose, the people who sit down to eat popcorn to watch it, they get the right popcorn. Nice popcorn eaters. After I lose, if I lose, my life good, you know. The things I fight for.
Don't you see?
Mama Coco, I have to say this.
No,
The struggle I'm fighting don't affect me. It don't affect me. I have built a life. I am
call every popcorn eater a voter. Because they are the people that
they have to be
who you have already. So
we're
trying to convince other people.
No, not at all. I'm not lying to them. They have to be responsible.
It's not lying.
Dog eat their supper after the next election. Trinidad going nowhere, and you and I know that. What's going on in America tonight is joke.
Where is the guy that wanted to be a priest? How pious can you become to come back on my life? You have to answer your question.
You need me pious?
Yes.
Okay. I'll prepare. When is the next time?
Well, I'll have to get back. We will have to do a post-mortem, you know, because I know I'm calling you. Because some of your actions tonight is not what I expected. You told me don't go easy on you.
Don't.
You told me don't sanitize you.
Don't.
You told me ask you anything.
Anything.
I asked you if anything
I didn't know you was going to ask me baby questions. That's a different thing. I talking hard, hitting politics. You asking me about school and growing up and things. You know how long I put my mind to that?
No, you have to.
Mama,
we are trying to walk the juvenile minds. We're trying to work with young people. Some people in Trinidad, they never listen to you.
The old people love me. And I telling you, I willing to walk. Forget what the advisor's telling you. I willing to walk Beatam Lavantel Morva Silots tomorrow. They know my name. They know me. And I willing to walk there tomorrow. They know that they have nothing left to lose. How much more Fitzgerald Hines fail in Lavantel? He said, get them Lavantel West.
They have much to lose and they have their life to lose. Don't talk like Trump. Drop the language.
I'm saying is politics can't get worse for them. Can't get worse. Their own representative send somebody.
I want to lift you up before God this evening in my life, because my life based with some spiritualism in it. And I don't care what people have to say, I have to come back to basic. And I have to realize that with God all things are possible. And we cannot fight a battle with anybody except we know what weapons they have. And the weapons that people have is the power they have to either vote for you or don't accept you. And we are here trying for people to accept you. But some of the things that you are saying, we don't need it. Some people can find me saying that and I shouldn't say it because they're not honest. They're encouraging you in certain things that you in your heart know, you know I should stop that. You know I should slow down here. You can't tell people you don't need a job, but you want the job. And if you ain't get it, you're done. Listen to me.
So, Mama, you are telling Phillip Edward Alexander to lie.
No!
And I cannot.
I did not. You see how you
disagree with my position, but this is my truth.
I am a woman of truth. I can't tell you to lie.
But this is my truth.
No, your truth need, as
I
told you before.
You, to all who support me and to all who hate me.
So all who support you can make you win the election?
Not at all. I'm saying if this is God,
you need more people.
Mama, you're not letting me say it. If this is God plan for me, nothing can stop it. And if this is not God plan for me, nothing I could do could change it. I want to wake up every morning and put one foot in front of the other and fight the best fight I could fight. And if Trinidad and Tobago want real representation, proper leadership that fixes this country, they'll vote for the Progressive Empowerment Party. If not, we'll continue with cancer and heart attack until all of we dead.
Boy, I really thought I would have been listening to somebody with a vast amount of difference from Keith Rowley. Somehow you're singing just like he sometimes, you know. So right now you and his partner. You can't sing like this. You're speaking with a whole million tons of entitlement. That is not what the politics you should be teaching for young people to come to you. I want young people to gravitate to you. I want the votes that you believe. I want the votes that you believe they should get. You should get it.
That's up to them. 30 years of lies have America on fire. 58 years of lies going to burn Trinidad down at some point.
Yeah, where you going again? You can't say that.
But Mama, look at our country. All right. So I want to tell you that if you need me to sound like somebody else,
no, I don't need you to sound like anybody else. I want you
to behave.
I want you to behave like yourself. This extra that you had to put on, you don't need it again. Phillip, you won over the people with the quality politics that you bring. People want a change, and you had it in you. Decorum. So may the God of all peace that surrounds us here tonight, and the peace that you came with, may you leave with the same peace.
Amen.
May we remain as people who need change and working for change. We can't behave the same and get change. And what I'm seeing here with you, you're a good guy. That's why I asked you to come. I didn't ask you to come to prove a point. I didn't ask you to come to score points. And right now when I finish with you here, I'm going to take my pressure pill right now. Because you don't know how much it took for me. That's why I called you today and tell you, may I give you some of the questions? Because you see them baby and them monotonous politics, we're not here on that. Kamala this, Kamala that. Who for Kamala staying with Kamala? But you want the undecided. You want the young people that doesn't vote. You want to impress the young people. You want to show them that you are a child too. You are a child that grew up poor. And you can hear them in Laventille. You can feel them in Bonds Road. You could feel them in Chumakat. You could feel them on the Eastern Corridor. You could feel them in Maloney. You could feel them in Arapuch. Don't think it's just the East alone suffering. It's all over Trinidad. So may the God of all peace continue to reign amongst us. And may we understand that the more we live, the more we shall learn. And I am your Mama Coco. And you have to stop sending out generals and you are the chief. You have to go yourselves. You need to get in touch with the opposition in Tobago. It's not easy to break through Tobago. And Tobagonians don't trust outsiders to come to run. But if an outsider come in, to do good, as you said, you have plans for Tobago. Because we're tired. The first representative we have from the East, that born and grow in the East, to represent Trinidad, to represent Tobago and the East in Trinidad, is Ayanna Webster Roy. For all these years before was A&R Robinson, Basil Pitt, yes, Wilbert Winchester. We never had our own representative. So for you to come in and you want to be in this part of an election, you have to make the breakthrough. You had was to be there before on the ground. And you can't make coronavirus keep you out from presenting yourself. I respect you, my friend. Love is a strong word and I'm about to use it. I love you, Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander. But I love you to be yourself. And you just cannot be out there using grammar, using drama to please one section of people. You need to please everybody. So those who may not want it to join you because of this life today, they should have been able to gravitate 100%. But you show some weakness. I can't blame you. Because I don't think, not even my children could really sit down and listen to me when I'm ready to speak or to interrogate. You see, I don't have anyone to please. I don't have a church. I don't have a party. What I have is honesty and truth. And when I see a good thing, I help a good thing. And I wish you great luck. Maximum respect to you. And may we go in peace and remain peaceful. And let us get ready to meet again for the good of Trinidad and Tobago and for our young people. A charge to keep you have, and a God to glorify, and ever dying soul to save. Dying soul to save. You can't be said, if me not win, me not this, me not that. No. Sometimes you lose, but you win. Because what people learn from you, they learn from your brand. They learn from your tenacity. They learn from your will. They learn from your energy. They learn from the vibrations that some people don't believe in God, they believe in vibrations. And you have to give it out. I hope you are listening to me. I see you smiling.
Raptured by your words.
So how you feel about the live? Are you 100% proud?
I think it was a good show.
We're not doing show.
Well, you know what I mean? It's a good exchange.
Yes.
It started off difficult with all of the challenges with the technical difficulties and trying between your team and my team and trying to get it and getting that done threw me off a little bit. And then you have a different style. And because we weren't briefed before, I didn't. Because
accept the briefing.
Because I'm always exposed to combat, I expected combat, and you have such a soft and gentle way that it took a while to gear me down from combat mode.
I told you before, the way you were interviewed for the past 3 years, I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated when you had to be saying, let me finish, let me finish, let me finish.
But it's part of the course because they're going to block you. They're going to do everything in their power. They're going to assassinate your character. They're going to defame you. They're going to threaten you.
That's the price you have to pay for being a public figure. You know what a guy told me some years ago, but he passed? He's godfather of my daughter. One day he watched me say, Cora, you're a real strong person, you know, but sometimes you have to cease from being a public figure. Because the people that cheer you on, ask them why they like you. You're funny and you're crazy. They don't have anything good to say because they don't know goodness themselves. We in Trinidad and Tobago, we so used to bacchanal and partisan and carry God bring come politics that you come in with such power, such great materials, that you harvest. You come with numbers and figures. Why lose? Why lose that? For using words that, can't build.
It prompts me
a lot of people want to vote for you, I could feel it.
Mama,
a lot of people fed up.
It prompts me to ask you a question. And I don't want the fed up vote. You see, you may not understand the honesty in that statement. Whoever Trinidadians vote into office next, Patrick Watson is one of the most senior economists this country ever produced. And he said, Philip, live on the show this week, he said, this is not an election to win, The next 10 years of Trinidad Tobago is not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy.
Look, we are able to talk about the monies that we have and monies that we ain't get. We ain't get to talk nothing decent about it. We didn't get to do that because you keep forcing me to go over onto areas that we didn't plan for.
Trinidadians have to grow up now.
Janelle James is saying, I love the man. He have really good ideas, but tonight, 0 points.
So let me answer Janelle, right? And I'll show you what I mean by Trinidadians have to grow up. I don't want points. If Janelle thinks I have very good ideas and she could trust me enough to say she loves me, then she needs to hire me. That is the difference. We've played with our politics for so long and we've been abused for playing it. And all I'm saying to Janelle and everybody else is treat this next election.
No, you see, what you going after here is what I could come in and tell you straight up. You cannot make people vote for you if you are not displaying the qualities that they want their prime minister to display. They want to make sure that if somebody, like a woman, come from Venezuela with 2 other men, they don't want the prime minister to be telling them,
you
he
think
doesn't know
people on the ground.
why. We didn't even get into that, but we have to end the show. Sorry.
See you for part 2.
We must have a part 2.
See you for part 2.
I will not feel good. I will feel as if
I'll be here.
We didn't have a part 1.
We can have part 2 and 3 and 4. I'll be here. You let Satish and me know when. We will prepare. Love
Janelle
them.
will be back. Janelle
Mama,
is behind the show. Everybody, we want to. So I want you to sell you. So peace, my brother.
Peace.
May God be with you.
Amen.
And when we are off the live and you're free enough, you have to call me.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
night.
Yes, ma'am.